We're back to the Nhaley Show. Excited to welcome to the program. First, my co-host, Paul Hollis, author of the Hollow Man series and owner of many, many companies. Paul, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest.
I am. We have special guest today, Deb Owens. She is a fantastic science fiction writer. So we're looking forward to one of her latest books here.
Appreciate, Deb, you coming by. Let's talk about Black Seven.
Okay, yes, Black Seven, Legend of Netta. It is a science fiction book, and it's made in three different time periods with three different women and three different planets. And they're all endangered by one cataclysmic machine.
Okay, so let's go back. So why three different women, three different planets? Are they running the planets?
No, they're not running the planets. They the first one is a scientist, and she found out a problem with the machine that they're going to test on a different planet way across the galaxy. And so she found a problem with it. And so after it destroys that planet, she has to take it somewhere where no one can get hold of it again, where no one can use it again. That's the first one. The second one is an Indian maiden who is taken to the planet that the first one came from. And she is on Earth. Vanetta is on Earth. So she goes to the planet Cana, and they learn about, her all about Earth and stuff like that from her. And then the third one is up in like 2009. And she is, of course, from Earth. And she has to find out how to stop this machine from destroying the Earth.
That's interesting. Now, each character, let's talk about the scientist first. Who does she remind you of?
She reminds me of, I don't know if you watch Enterprise or not, but she reminds me of the Vulcan science officer on Enterprise.
Okay.
Actually, she reminds me of her.
What about the other characters? The two other ones, the two other women, who they remind you?
Okay, Vanetta reminds me of, I can't think of anybody that she reminds me of. She's a person of her own right, in her own right. She reminds me of a courageous woman, one who, finds out she's not a scientist, she's just Indian maiden, which that's her part in this deal, and she's very important.
That's very, very interesting. And so when you talk about your characters you create, Deb, any of them remind me of yourself? Do you put some of your ideas or your thoughts into some of your characters?
Yes, I do. I put some of the experiences, some of the thoughts, and some of my character in there as well. So that's how I make some of them.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. Let's jump into that characters. You're talking about, those particular characters, Deb. When you think about like writing characters in all your books, so we'll go away from Black Seven, go back more of an author. Each character has certain things. You jot things down before you start writing, or you always have a notepad writing things that have to get ideas for your next book?
Oh, yes, I jot things down. I use the snowflake method, how to write a novel using the snowflake method by Randy Ingermanson. And I use his snowflake method, and I get very detailed with the characters, who they are, how tall they are, what's their hair color, what's their eye color, what do they do, where are they from, a little bit of background on each one of them and go into detail about it.
That's so awesome. That's a pretty cool thing. And so when you're writing down, when you start writing a book, what do you do? Because I mean, I can't think of how all you writers just, I don't get you because I don't know if I could sit down and just write. So how do you just sit down and write a book?
Well, like I said, first I line it all out. I get it outlined of what I want where. And then I go ahead and write out what, because the plot comes to me first. The plot of the story comes to me first. And then the details come to me. And that's when I start writing the details and making it all, like that. But I don't just sit down and start writing it, except for the first ones, the first three. I started writing those because it's like I had a head full of stuff and I got it out. It was weird. It was already forming in my mind, and the plot was there for all three of the series, the trilogy, and the plots were there, and I just fleshed them out, and I've been fleshing them out for years.
You like to flesh them out. That's such an important thing, to flesh out what happens, where they go, all the different things in writing a book. What do you give advice for a first-time author, Deb? What should they do?
Well, a first-time author, I would say this: do not quit. If you feel that it's been put on your heart to write a book, do not quit. Even when people say, "Oh, you're not going to get anywhere with that. That's not going to be any good. Oh, that's been done." But no. Do not listen. If you get bad reviews, learn from them. Don't be upset by them. Do not quit.
Do not quit. I love the do not quit. So the first step, if somebody's going to write a book, what should they do first? Come up with kind of give the steps, especially if they're writing a book like you wrote, where you're coming up with this creativity. What's the first step they should do?
Well, first of all, you probably should get the plot outlined. I use Plotter for mine, and I can get them all as far as the acts, the chapters, the scenes, stuff like that, and I can get them all laid out. It's like outlining it, and unless you're a pantser, because if you're a pantser and you write by the seat of your pants, you can just sit down and write out this plot and type it up. But I'm not a pantser.
All right, where's the best place people can buy your books and learn more about you, Deb? Where can they go?
Go to debcarverowens.com, and I have the books there for you to read excerpts, and you can there's little movies with them to tell what's going on a little bit. So you can go there to debcarverowens.com.
All right, we appreciate it, Deb. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
All right, you're listening to Watch the Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.